One moment. Set up the project. I'm gonna bring still full. Well, that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna just bring the last one. I have another file, but still copy it. So basically, when you do a rendering here with viewport 2.0, you need to change your texture map. Right now I have a problem with the texture because the color space, there we go. So, hey guys, for you who work at home, to disable this thing that I think for you at home probably don't have any problem, but for people who here, if you wanted to disable the the ACES, you need to uncheck this to first, and then you switch this to a regular scene linear. You can just use this guy 709 and S RGB, but I've been told that the 2020 has even better, so you can pick one of these, up to you, and then you just change to sRGB gamma. That's it. To not to use the color space that school set. However, though, because of this, when you open the application again, it will have the same error. So you have to keep coming and uncheck unless you save this. So basically, let's see, apply. I think you probably have to export instead. Export this and then just put somewhere in, you can say it like my color space. This is for people who are working here. And then you save somewhere. I can save in the C drive, but if someone restarted, this will be gone. So I would suggest you to save it in D drive. So I'm gonna save there. So now it's mean when you come back in the future, it will ask you the same. You just click load this, transform directory path into that one. So something like that. And now, if you are plan to use it, let me turn it on. You just leave it on there. Come on, here we go. And you can use this setting. Like, you don't need to, if you work at home, you're gonna have the ACES -1. So you can pick that one instead and use sRGB. I'm gonna turn this off because I'm gonna use a regular render with the hardware rendering. Now with the hardware rendering though, you need to do this. So you go to, there we go. I'm gonna pick, let's see what texture on this guy is. I'm gonna change that one. Distance one, no. Let me see what the texture of this guy is. I wanted to grab the texture from selection. It's called, hey guys, this button is you grab texture from the selected object. So this is distance 1. Okay, so now this is it. There are 2 texture. I think might be 3. Let's look at on geometry. 3 texture. So on distance, you got terrain 3 texture. With color, you probably don't even need weight. Probably only color, the base color. So I'm gonna click on base color. There's an input, click on it, and this is it. The distance texture based PNG. What you can do is, you don't have to remember the name. You can just copy the whole path, because oops, not cut. Copy the whole path, and I'm gonna create a new Lambert because I do not need any highlight, because just viewport 2.0, right? So I'm gonna use Lambert. But if you want to have some highlight, you can use blend. That's perfectly fine. Blend has more option because let's say on the car, if you like it to have a little highlight shape that match with whatever the car shader has, you could use blend. How about the car? I will use blend, and the terrain I will use Lambert because it's no highlight at all. So I will click Lambert, and I'm gonna name this gonna be what is it? Distance 3, right? So how about I call distance 3 Lambert, so that you know that this is from distance 3 AI shader. We're just going to transfer to Lambert. I click on Lambert, and the only thing I need is color and bump. So the color, I click assign color 2D texture file. Now you get this, and it's the same thing, right? So we just copy and paste. So I'm going to paste the path name with the color, so you will get that terrain. Now, after you get that terrain, I'm going to, let's move it right here. Oh, let me dock it. Come on, there we go. Okay. Let me turn this off temporary. So I'm going to select, let's see where it is. The name that I just named is distance 3 Lambert. Let me, it's so bad that, where is it? Lambert, distance 3. Maybe I forgot to execute it. Hold on. Oh, one moment. Here we go. I am trying to find my distance 3. Oh, right here. Okay. So it does change. Let me turn that off. Right there, distance 3. Come on, right there. Okay. So I'm going to just middle mouse this and drop it to there. Here we go. Now can you see? It changed the color. Now with the bump, we got to look at on distance 3 right there. So the bump, we go to right here, bump map, click on it, and click on the input because it's right there. But this is the input. Here we go. I'm going to copy the whole name path again. The reason that I do this technique, you don't have to do copy like this. If you just know that distance 3 normal map and it's inside distance folder, if I click on it, it will look like this. See, under project directory, source images, distance, and the distance 3 normal PNG. So I could go to that, the Lambert, and just assign it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the Lambert again, and under bump map right here, click on it, color 2D texture file, here we go, and that's the bump volumes. Oops, sorry. Bump volumes has an input, has no file yet, but I remember, right? So right now if I do this, Control V, I paste that path. I don't have to do that if you know the name. You can click on the folder, distance 3, normal PNG. Here we go, and then I can do that. And did I select? Oh yes, it's updated now. Okay, so and this one I'm gonna change to linear. That because it's normal map, it can't be sRGB, it has to be linear. So I'm gonna just choose linear 709 and sRGB. Here we go. And the bump is too much, so I'm gonna have to go up. Bump depth, put 0.1. We don't need to do too much. 0.1, if it's too much, you're gonna have to do 0.01 or 0.025. I think 0.025 is about right. Not too big, not too small. I mean the bump shape. I can see a little. So that's how you change on the terrain. Now on the car though, let's take a look at the car. Car mat 1. I have car mat 1. I select car mat 1. And on car mat 1, we have bump map. And we have roughness, metalness, color. So now the specular, the roughness, we're going to use that map to the specular level of the blend if you decide to use blend. If you decide to use the car as a flat color like Lambert, the only file you need is the color map right here and the bump map. That's all you need. So this time I'm going to use blend because I want to show it to you how to do it. So I'm going to click on blend. Let me extend this a little bit. And on blend, let me rename. I'm going to call car 1 blend shape so that I know it's from the car 1 mat. Car mat 1. Hold on. Let me rename. Car mat 1. I mean, the reason that I pick up that name because easy for me to switch back and forth between a Arnold rendering or hardware rendering. So now on car blend, I'm gonna do this technique because quicker. I'm gonna just copy the whole path. You have to use keyboard commands, Control A, Control C, and then I'm going to go to blend. I copy the color, so I go to the color, 2D texture, file, and then I'm going to just paste, execute it. Okay, what does it say? Oh, okay, so this has a little trouble here. I don't know why it pick up like that. I still don't really know why. So basically what you need is you need to remove if you get this problem that said error can't find the source images. You need to get rid of everything that on in front of source images and then slash. Here we go, now it's correct. So I don't know why it does that. I have no answer on that. It does this when we reference in car. I reference in car and I move them around, like copy the whole folder. Mainly like if we copy the whole project folder and moving around, it shouldn't have that problem. I don't know why it does this. I still don't. Okay. So now the color bitmap, you use sRGB, it's fine. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the AI map. I wanted to use specular on the roughness. So the specular, now once again, it has the same problem on the specular. I can just remove that path and then copy it. You don't have to do it from here. You could do it only on the car mat, on the bitmap, blend shape. Where does it go? Right there. Okay, blend shape. Now, it's going to be on specular color. So now the reflectivity, I'm going to turn off. Oh, what you can actually map on, I don't need any reflectivity. I'm going to turn off. And I'm going to map on this color, specular color. The reason is so that the highlight is based on this color map. Basically, let's take a look at the map right here. The highlight, any white bright, you get 100% highlight. Everything grayscale gradually to dark will become less highlight. That's what it does, the specular. So, and the specular, because this is not normal map, you can use sRGB. It should be fine. Now we got to go back to the bump map. The bump map geometry. Here we go. And this is normal map PNG. So we need to use this. Let me remove this. Remove the path name. Has to be only source. There we go. So basically, anything that use normal map like this color, you cannot use sRGB. It will not create a relief correctly. You need to switch this to linear, scene linear RCE. Now, people who are doing on campus, you should use utility linear texture instead of the ACES that I showed you last time. It looks better. So now this is correct. So the next thing I need to do is I just need to select each geometry of my car and replace it with this. Now when you select multiple geometry, you can use right click on the shader. This is my shader, the CarMat 1 blend. Right click and assign. So now can you see the shader is appear to be correctly on screen? Did I do that one? Okay. So now, and to render this, you cannot use anode lighting. You got to get rid of the dome light if you have one. And you're going to use a basic light, directional light. That's it. That's all you need. So, and I'm going to try, turn on move to, I'm going to scale my directional light preview so that I can see a little better. And let me change to perspective view. Okay, and that's it. So this is the direction, and then you play around with intensity, shadow. You're gonna have to use a depth map shadow, and we render as a 1900, right? 1008 HD. So I would use 1024 at least. And filter size, you can bump it up a little more, like 4. So that a little softer. Don't use ray trace, of course. Now, on the sky, you will not have the color. So what you need is you select the camera shot that you have, open up attribute editor, and then under environment, and this is the color. You can actually add like a RAM shader or RAM texture, but just go with the basics, just change to any color you like. But make sure all the other camera has the same color though. So now, if I turn on lights, shadow, and ambient occlusion, and if you have line, you can turn on, but we don't need that. You can turn on anti-aliasing. It's up to you, and then you just render it out. And when you render it out, because you're gonna render in a still image, you don't want to render as a QuickTime or AVI. So now I'm gonna change name, no, not that one. Change to, I would use PNG or TIFF. JPEG, PNG or TIFF. And then you want to change to animation, make sure use name span dot extension, name pad. If within 1,000 you can use 4, it's fine, and then that's it. And then you just render it out. I'm gonna change to 1080. And hardware 2.0, light limit is 8, is good. Let's see. You can turn on motion blur if you like. It will not look that great, but it's gonna be okay. So it's up to you. Anti-aliasing. Now, I don't think you need to bump these to any higher, like 16. It should be okay. Unless it looks a little kind of sharp edges, pixelation, you might want to add a little more, like 16 to be safe. And let's see what else. Screen space, ambient occlusion, yes. Now, if your ambient occlusion, like a little tiny dark area on a relief or on the edge, if it's too little, you can add to 32 sample and bring this up. You could bring even 24 if you like. I don't think it's gonna cost that much rendering time, and that's it. And then you just do batch rendering. So let's test render one of them. And here we go. It looked like this. Okay. Come on. And right now is sRGB gamma because I didn't use the. Okay, so now I need to change more texture. This is incorrect. So, any questions about changing color? Now, what about bring up the smoke? To bring up smoke, don't use reference. It will not work correctly at all. So you need to import. So basically you import it. Okay. It's inside cars folder, smoke, and I think we can do merge into scene selection namespace again. Everything else just leave as is. Reference good. Okay. And now you import. After you import it, it will be somewhere right there. Emitter 2 and these are Bitfrost 1 and 2 need to be together. Now the 1 is actually has connection to the emitter, so we'll follow emitter. So what you need is you need to move emitter to the location that you wanted to assign it. So let's say I'm gonna put it on the skull car. So I'm gonna name SK car emitter, because you might want it to import second one for use with the other car. So that's why we got to name it. Okay. So now I'm gonna select this emitter, and I'm gonna try to move on the perspective view or something. Okay. And I'm gonna press F. That's how it looks. I'm gonna try to bring it here. Okay. I'm gonna move it. You can rotate a little, scale it up. Okay. Might take a little bit of time. Okay. All right. So now the smoke, this is another problem. it needs to be calculated from frame 1 till the end in order to make it correctly. You may be able to do, like I did try to do this, just started only on frame 411 and in that, just for that shot. Okay, so now I'm not going to parent it to link it to the body of the jet yet. I'm gonna just to test. So you need to change the playback speeds to every frame, and you can do max real time or freeze. It's either one of these would work just fine. And even though there's a cache playback turn on, it doesn't really catch it at all. So now on the bit forced, you could add under effects, select the emitter, bit frost, fluid, bit frost option. You need to enable scratch this for catching, and wherever it's saved in, let it go. So basically, before you render, you have to cache them first. So basically, you have to play it first, and then we render it out. So that's what it needs to be done. I am not an expert on particle at all, so I don't think I know a lot about this guy, but for now, this is what we need to do if we're gonna use it. And motion blur is on, can you see? So it's kind of try to give that blur. So let's turn it off for now. It's kind of looking weird. Motion blur, here we go. Turn it off for now. So now it's sharp again. And I'm gonna click play. Now my smoke is not coming because of this bit soft. It's somewhere else in the scene. I should have parenting it, but it's just a really weird the way it worked. Right there. So I gotta move it. I should have parenting them first. I forgot. And then unparent it again. How about right there? I should have parented first. Let's see if this is work. No. Okay. No problem. It's just a really weird when it how it works. So let me undo quick until it's go back. Okay. And I'm gonna grab the one parent. Oh, see, it's even. Hold on. Oh, so it's there. Okay. Gonna parent that. Temporary. Now I'm gonna move. Oh, hold on. Let me turn off a motion blur. There we go. I could try to use the match transform. I don't know why I didn't do that. Man. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay, let me try. Let me test it again. Oh, I was in the wrong. I was in the wrong car. That one. Okay. Hey, my emitter doesn't work again. Let me try that. Where does it go? That's correct. Let me turn this off. Let's see if that caused it. Cannot draw an object with no point. That shouldn't cause any problem. Hey guys, I have some problem on here, but this is should be working when you just relocate this, and later I have to figure out what caused it. But later you could parent this under emitter. You parent to the not the controller of the car, but to the car group node. Oh, I this file I didn't have that. Oh wait, this right here. Sorry, that's a wrong car. Can you see? I have to expand this. It should be right here. It should parent underscore car GP, because remember this guy will pivot to from the back. Main control will move the whole thing. So it means if the car pivot, the position of this thing will change if they are not under this guy. So let me parent it to. Select that, parent it to here. So it should look like this. See, it's underscore GP. So now it means if I pivot to the font, let's go to the font quick. That cylinder, that emitter should follow it, right? So just remember the emitter need to be a child of the group node that control the geometry. Okay, so and I will figure it out what caused it, but when you do on your own, I think you should be okay. Because I have another scene that I already got exactly same. And if I found out what caused it, I will let you know on that part. But this is how you bring it in. Make sure you import not. Oh, hey guys, sorry. You can't. Sorry, my bad. You can't parenting it. I mean, you can, but it's somehow the emitter will not give a length. I had that problem before. So you need to do constraint. Sorry, I forgot. You need to do constraint. So you select the group node first, and then on screen, shift select the the emitter, and you go to rigging, constraint, parent constraint, turn on option, and add. So now you will get that message. It's gonna work. So now the constraint will be under emitter. So it will follow with the car. Okay, can you see? And you will get those smoke come out. Because smoke will come out and die in the original area. And that's it. Somehow I don't have it. It could be viewport 2.0. No, it shouldn't. So, okay. And that's it. And then I will try to find out what caused that smoke.